other thing is, you go to view a rental property, you find 40 people for one house. That was really for financial advice. If you need financial advice, please seek a registered person. I've got a question for you guys. Are you a patient person or an impatient person? I've noticed something. Patience, it also affects every area of our lives. It even affects our finances, our money decisions, whether we're patient or impatient. It has a big impact in our money decisions. Patience. Alright? Are you a financially patient person or an impatient person? So I believe the financial patient people, they choose freedom. The financial impatient, they choose financial slavery. Because I think the old adage that says the borrower is the slave to the lender is true. I've proven that it's true many times over really the experiences that I've come across. Okay, take you back a couple of years ago, maybe 10 years ago. We just moved to Australia from the UK, and then, you know, when you move in from one country to another, I don't know why, at times you just think everything, you come back with your mindset from whatever country you used to live in. You actually think the way things used to operate there is gonna be the same here. All right, so we come here, okay, so because we're not living in Australia, we didn't have any references. For when you're looking for a rental property, you need to have references so that they can do a reference check. I don't know why they couldn't get in touch with people from the UK. They wanted Australian references, okay? So we couldn't get any references. And the other thing is something which was new to me. You go to view a rental property, you find 40 people for one house. That was really new to me. I thought it's a matter of like, I want that property, bang, done, pay the money. So anyway, back to the story. Because we couldn't get we didn't have Australian references, they asked us to pay 3 months rent in advance and a bond. Okay, 3 months rent in advance and a bond. Guess what happened to my budget? It just blew out of the window. Okay, so we had no choice. We needed accommodation ASAP because, you know, you can't stay in a hotel, right? It's too expensive. So we paid the 3 months rent in advance, and then we paid the bond. So in essence, we paid for 4 months. Okay, and then now when we moved over, we didn't bring any furniture, we didn't ship any furniture. I just brought like the little things, you know, the sentimental things that had sentimental value. We're like, we're gonna start again. We're cool with that, that's fine. But then with the money that was left, we managed to buy a bed, and I thought that just go buy it and they deliver it the same day. But guess what? That didn't happen. That's a story for another day. Okay, this is what I want to zone on. And the next thing we needed was the fridge, because, you know, you need fridge to put your meat, your fresh veggies, you know, your milk and stuff like that. We didn't have the money to buy the fridge. This is what happened now. We had a plan. We had enough to kind of buy the basic things that we needed, like a fridge, a bed, you know, we had enough to do that. But because of the situation changed now, because now they wanted 3 months rent in advance, so that affected our cash flow. So we had no money now. So now we had to I think I would say our patience was tested. So we had two choices. Either we go home without the fridge, or we go for finance, and we chose to go for finance. Okay, went to the shop, found the fridge we wanted, like, okay, we're going for it, we're gonna go for finance. And then the lady starts asking us questions. Do you have a job? Which is not a problem. You can tell them you have a job, providing you a letter from the employer or a pay slip. That wasn't a problem, but the questions were just too much. Like, for me, I don't know, it was just a bit too much. Like things like, are you expecting, or are you pregnant? You know, I felt like it was getting into my private space. I didn't feel comfortable. So my husband and I, we looked at each other, we're like, Just give us a minute. He gave us a minute. We're like, nah, let's not do that. And we walked out. We're like, okay, thank you very much for your help, but we decided not to go ahead. Okay, at that time they were offering buy now, pay within 6 months at no interest. Okay, that sounded too good. Okay, that's the option we're gonna go for. That sounded too good. But what put us off was all the personal questions that were being asked, that were getting into my space, getting into my space. And also, when you think of it, other side of it is, it sounds so good to buy now, pay 6 months later, interest free. But think of it this way. Who knows what's going to happen within the next 5 months? What if the situation changes? You know, everybody gets into these financial commitments in good faith, thinking that, oh, 6 months is a long time. We're going to pay it, no problem. It's doable. Okay, everybody gets in. All right. So anyway, we were patient. We decided, no, we're not going to do this. We got out and we didn't buy the fridge. One thing I want to mention to you guys is interest is a non-negotiable transaction. Interest, I've never seen anyone who goes to get a loan and is able to negotiate their interest. It's usually take it or leave it. Either you want the money, and most people, because we find ourselves in a situation where we want the money and we just desperate, we're grateful for the loan. We don't think about the interest and then we just go for it. So just remember, interest is a non-negotiable. You just go there, either you take it, pay the interest, or you don't take it. Interest is a non-negotiable when it comes to things like loans, or credit cards, So another question I have for you guys, or another question that we faced is, can we stand to be inconvenienced? Can we stand to be inconvenienced? Or are we gonna go for the easy way out? Which looked easy, but it's got financial implications. All right? So this is what happened, okay? Because we didn't buy the fridge, every single day I was coming from work, going past the shopping center, buying meat, whatever I was cooking, chicken, just enough for the day, and then cooking, and then the next day I would do the same thing. I think that was for almost 4 weeks or so. I think maybe 4 weeks, yeah, doing that to raise the money, to wait until we had enough money to go buy the fridge. Okay, some people might think come on, you could have bought any fridge. I know, you can buy it. Not all of them are expensive. You could get something cheaper, but I didn't want to do that. Buy something cheaper just for me to use in the meantime, and then later on replace it. Because here, or rather in most developed countries, disposal is always an issue. There is disposal one, and the second thing, there is the money. If we went ahead and bought a fridge, let's say for $500, which would have been cheap, we would have afforded it. But for me, I've lost $500 buying something that I didn't need. Okay, as in, I needed the fridge, but I didn't need a $500 fridge. I needed a nice fridge that will last me for a while. I think I still have that fridge up to today. It's still, perfect. The fridge that I ended up buying, I still have it up to today. So I was looking at buying something that is long term than going for a short term thing to maybe a bar fridge, those small ones used for a short time, even though it's cheap. To me, buying something that will cost me $200 or $300 and I'm not gonna use it long term, to me it's a waste of my money, and I wasn't prepared to do that. Financial patience comes with being able to be prepared to be inconvenienced. Okay, I was inconvenienced, and also being able to adapt when your situation changes. Like for me, it was the cash flow crisis. It wasn't planned. It wasn't intended. I had a proper plan, a proper structure in place, but because I couldn't predict that they're gonna need 3 months rent in advance, it's not something that I knew. But when it happened, I had to quickly adapt and change and go okay, and exercise patience. Though I was tempted to be impatient because, I still wasn't willing. I was still able to control myself to a certain extent because I didn't want to be talking my business to people I didn't know. Just to wrap it up, exercise patience in your finances. Wait until you have the money. That's what I do. Wait until you have the money to buy whatever you need to buy. Okay, just take your time, save for it. Thank you for tuning. Please save money, save. Have something aside. Thank you for tuning in. Like my video, subscribe, and share it with other people. Bye.